Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too.
I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too.
A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question.
Pressed. Both Bria Hartley, Olivia Nelson-Ododa, and Tina Charles, okay? Because Bria Hartley accidentally...
We had another incident, and look, I will tell you this. I don't blame Angel Reese for being mad because Bria Hartley pulls Angel Reese's hair, okay? However, you can be mad and you don't have to lose complete.
Angel Reese delivered a dazzling triple-double performance, yet the buzz was centered around her unexpected metamorphosis into the WNBA's version of Stone Cold Steve Austin following a brief hair-pulling incident. Reese transformed from athlete to cinematic antagonist, with lashes fluttering, her braids soaring, and a piercing side-eye sharp enough to cut through stone. The match concluded, but the theatrics were just taking off. This was beyond post-game sentiment. It resembled a full-fledged segment from Real Housewives of the Court, and the only missing element was a table being overturned.
Home court. Her name may be Angel, but she far from God, okay? Because this was a very spicy game. It was giving very passionate, it was giving aggressive, it was giving tenacity, being ferocious. Because why Angel Reese pressed both Bria Hartley, Olivia Nelson-Ododa, and Tina Charles, okay? Because Bria Hartley accidentally grabbed one of her braids. How do you accidentally pull somebody's hair? I mean, come on now. Specifically on the play like that, you're supposed to be guarding somebody. Angel Reese trying to go up for a layup or whatever she was doing, and like Bria Hartley like just grabbed one of her pigtails, one of her braids that was like braided down to her like her waist. And Angel Reese, of course, she had the right to react the way that she.
Now, let's dive into the real issue here. And it certainly isn't her shooting stats, but rather the hair grab incident. Forget about the 10 rebounds and the double-digit scoring. The real concern is that in a professional league, someone deemed it acceptable to tug on another player's braid as if they were hurriedly selecting wigs. In response, Reese swung her arms, appearing ready for a confrontation. Why isn't this addressed as the sports violation it truly is? In the NBA, players get technicals for something as minor as a misplaced sneeze. Yet here, we have Reese pulling in opponents as though she's engaged in deep-sea fishing.
And she's going to pull Angel Reese's hair. Oh, here we go again. All right. And you see Angel Reese pushed Olivia Nelson-Ododa, Nelson-Ododa right there. There's the hair pull. Now watch her just walk in to separate, and she has to look.
You can't simply grab someone's hair and expect applause. That's not playground drama. It's a disgraceful act reminiscent of a middle school hallway fight or gym class chaos. This is the WNBA. Don't insult our intelligence by dismissing it as accidental contact. That was a calculated pull, like she was trying to disarm a trap. Yes, the hair yank deserves a flagrant foul, but what Reese did is equally egregious. Instead of calling it out, many are stretching to portray her as the misunderstood underdog. She's just passionate, they say. Please, if anyone had even so much as looked at her wrong, we'd already be deep into a SportsCenter outrage segment and Twitter storm.
Angel Reese, why does she get so tough with the little ones? Why does Angel Reese act like this big, tough, and rugged chick when it comes to the small people? You know, she likes to get at the smaller people on the court, but when a bigger person steps to her, she gets a little bit more timid.
But because it was Angel Reese involved, the league apparently responded with a group hug and a juice box. She racks up a triple-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, and a striking 10 fiery outbursts. And suddenly, it's as if she's revolutionized the sport of basketball regardless of the stats. That performance? It was barely enough to impress her own shoelaces. Yet ESPN practically rolled out the red carpet for her. A historic night for Angel Reese. But honestly, what's so historic? Just cranking up the drama, turning the volume to 100, all while shooting a dismal 28%.
Angel Reese today had a triple-double. And the world is probably going to explode on that. She had 11 assists, two turnovers only, which is actually pretty impressive. Her teammates obviously made some shots. She was only 2 of 7 from the field. So she shot 28.5% from the field to end up with her, 10, 11 points or whatever it was. And she got most of her points from the free throw line. But that wasn't the story of her game today.
A triple-double is impressive if you're not throwing up bricks like you're laying bricks for a building. Yet somehow, that inefficient stat line became the headline of the week. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark drops a smooth 30 points, absorbs more hits than a crash test dummy, and doesn't make a single headline unless she's getting body checked into next week. Reese puts up a modest night with middling stats, and ESPN acts like she's just cured world hunger. Are we handing out MVP awards based on vibes and drama now?
The story of her game today was hair pull. The hair pulling. And her reaction to her hair being pulled. And now, in a vacuum, I actually don't have much issue with the reaction that she had from her hair being pulled. I really don't. Can't say I have any issue with her reaction, just being real. What I have an issue with is her being such a hypocrite.
The irony is downright Olympic. Angel Reese treating her own hair as if it's priceless, like Fabergé crystal. One finger brushes too close and she's ready for a courtroom testimony. But when it's someone else's braid, suddenly it's fair game. The double standard is glaringly obvious. You can demand respect for your curls, yet turn your opponent's scalp into a tug-of-war arena. That's not fierce, that's pure hypocrisy.
So lads, today we're going to be talking about the Sun and Sky game, and the Sky got their third win of the season, putting them to third last in the W, which isn't like, they're 3-7. They're not good. Like, they're almost certainly not going to make playoffs. But at the end of the day, look, it's not like they're not going to be a half a game off the Mystics if the Mystics lose today. We also really want the Mystics to win today.
The worst part isn't even the foul itself. It's the smugness that follows, as if yanking hair and acting like she's just won a Nobel Prize somehow make her a legend. She struts around like she authored the Constitution, and every text she gets is some misunderstood piece of artistic genius. Angel Reese's entire act is draining, not because she's competitive. No, it's because she's always playing the misunderstood genius card. When she's just being messy, she acts like she's above it all. She walks into every arena like the league should be grateful she's there. Every foul, never her fault. Every skirmish, clearly someone else disrespected her. And if anyone dares call her out, suddenly it's just jealousy. She treats every mild critique like a federal case, and accountability is a personal attack. The attitude isn't confidence, it's deflection wrapped up in melodrama. Some say she's just being unapologetically herself? Fine. But if herself includes pulling hair and playing the victim at the same time, maybe we need to stop the applause.
Be the peacemaker, trying to, be the de-escalator. She got pushed. Angel Reese pushed her about it. She said, I ain't trying to hear none of that. Run the fade right now. You done pulled my hair. You know what you did. You did it on purpose. And then Tina Charles, okay? Who's supposed to be like, the calm, cool, collected one, the more mature one, the one who got like all the skills and there's the foresight, the wisdom. She's older. She's mature. She's been in the season for this is her 16th, 17th season in the W. Tina Charles press Angel Reese.
Even more frustrating than the antics themselves are the commentators acting as if every temper tantrum is some grand cultural milestone. She's not just changing the game, she's flipping the channel entirely to reality TV. Reese flailing in the middle of play gets treated like a work of art, while her stats are displayed like fragile museum exhibits. Meanwhile, that blatant foul, when she physically grabs another player during a possession, is casually dismissed because, hey, she nabbed some rebounds. Let's do a quick reality check. Imagine Caitlin Clark pulling a stunt like that. The outrage, the columns, the "what message are we sending" debates? It'd be all over. But when it's Reese, she's praised for her edge, and the fact that she's turning a basketball game into WrestleMania is just ignored. One impressive stat line doesn't excuse the chaos. That's like handing someone Citizen of the Year while they key a car, except they also helped an old lady cross the street. It doesn't add up.
You got Angel Reese going up for a rebound.
We mentioned the physicality
Then here comes the player behind her.
and that last possession.
She's got her left hand right here on a braid of Angel Reese. Yanks that shit. I want the ball.
The contact being let go.
And Angel Reese throws her hand out. I get that. I get all that. This is where she goes a little bit, does her thing a little too much.
This time, I think it was accidental.
So Nelson Ododa is separating them. She's not pushing Angel Reese. And Angel Reese is acting like she's so...
It's time we draw the line. Competitive fire and physicality, love it. But dirty tactics cloaked in diva attitude and pretending to be misunderstood greatness, that's not growth. It's turning the sport into a sideshow. Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, is out here taking hits, but she keeps her cool. She doesn't need to yank hair to dominate. She just plays her game, lifts everyone around her, and shows that the league has a bright future. Meanwhile, Reese is juggling the roles of villain and victim, and honestly, that act's getting tired. It's one thing to compete fiercely. It's another to cheat, throw tantrums, and then demand applause for it. That's the real problem.
And then Reese just with a big reaction. And Tina Charles, being the vet that she is, gonna stick.
Let's pause for a moment and marvel at the comedy of it all. Angel Reese's latest saga may have overshadowed her team's victory. The Chicago Sky could have used that win as a statement, but nope, that shimmer got completely buried under her theatrics. It's like a one-woman Broadway show starring Reese as the misunderstood anti-hero. She doesn't just step onto the court to play ball. She arrives armed with subplots, side quests, and enough baggage to require TSA pre-check. Every game seems like an episode from her personal drama series. A scuffle here, an intense glare there, maybe a post-game tweet needing a translator, all while she clearly still believes she's the league's shining star. Honestly, is this what the league wants? To be led by a constant soap opera of glitter and grudges? No thanks. The WNBA needs a face, not a full-blown telenovela full of drama that never quits.
Yeah, my darling. I'm scrolling through the Twitter streets. You guys know how I do. Pedal to the metal. I got a lead foot. It is what it is, but I see something off in the distance, and it is a sign. And that sign says, more of a billboard, if you will. It says, Chicago Sky's Angel Reese directly addresses major criticism about her game. Now, my initial thoughts, my initial reactions is, why are we addressing criticisms about our game? Shouldn't we be working on our game? Shouldn't we be in the training facility? Shouldn't we be in the practice facility? Shouldn't we be in the gym? Shouldn't we be doing something that, I don't know, enhances?
It's astonishing how many still rush to crown her queen for simply doing the bare minimum. 10 rebounds and a few flashy passes suddenly elevate her to royalty. That's akin to handing out Oscars for the best supporting meltdown. What we're witnessing isn't innovation, it's a rerun. Reese isn't redefining greatness. She's just throwing high-definition tantrums. Yet, let's keep fueling the narrative. Let's pretend her hair pulls and hostile glares are part of some strategic masterclass and fierce competition. Meanwhile, the same media quick to praise her passion would have crucified any other player for half of what she gets away with. This is WNBA's version of selective memory. Reese could storm onto the court wielding scissors, and somehow it'd still be called unapologetic energy. And let's be honest, this isn't accidental. Angel Reese thrives on chaos. The more buzz she creates, the better. Strip away her fireworks and faux outrage, and what are you left with? A few solid rebounds wrapped in a whole lot of, look at me. This isn't about basketball anymore, it's about staying in the trending tab. When the game quiets down, she hits the panic button. Her focus isn't just on winning, it's on winning the headline, the conversation, the social media storm. If it's not dramatic, it doesn't exist. She feeds off of gasps, groans, and viral gifs.
More unhinged than I actually thought, to be fair. This is a little bit more concerning than I actually...
That's not grit. That's pure theater. Angel Reese isn't chasing true toughness. She's angling for headlines, even if it means casting herself as the villain with a microphone in one hand and a mirror in the other. Forget about rings. She's after retweets, likes, and viral moments. The box score? Just a prop in her grand performance. The real show happens in the memes. Memorable post-game stare-downs, exaggerated flops, the grazed but dying Oscar moments. Somehow, that spectacle has become her brand. 1 second she's provoking, and the next she's playing the victim. All part of her act. It's a reality show disguised as a stat sheet. And here's where it's truly draining. She knows the league won't hold her accountable. If anything, they seem to encourage her chaos. Angel Reese treats the WNBA like her personal drama series, and nobody's coming in with a warning label. Why should she change? There are no real consequences. She's acutely aware of where the line is, and she simply tiptoes past it in designer kicks. This isn't ignorance. It's strategy. She's performing out loud because she knows every stunt garners attention, and now, attention is her currency.
Team that they might say that they get along, they might say that they're all friends and everything's fine in the locker room, but yikes, come on, look at that. Alicia Gray's back's turned to the play. Brianna Jones is face guarding Camila Cardoso, and Rachel Banham just refuses to give Angel Reese the ball, and the Chicago Sky get a shot clock violation. I'm not sure what's going on over there.
In Chicago, Angel Reese has turned hypocrisy into an art form. Foul someone fiercely? That's fighting spirit. Get fouled back? Suddenly, she's dialing up the empathy hotline. It's a 3-act drama: provoke, perform, and protest. Every game, she's scripting her post-game quotes before the final whistle, blaming others, bragging about her authenticity, and basking in the spotlight like it's a tanning bed. Wash, rinse, repeat, and sadly, it's a tragedy because beneath the distractions, she's got real talent. She's instinctive, resilient, and capable, but all that gets drowned out by the noise. Her highlight reel is buried beneath TMZ-worthy chaos, and instead of being recognized for her grind, she's remembered for the madness she stirs on the court. If she simply played straight and leaned into her real skills, showed up and just played, she'd earn respect. But that's not enough for Angel. She isn't interested in being a basketball player. She wants to be a headline, and that's the real problem.
Angel Reese can't proudly accept the role of the villain, then beg people for sympathy. You can't complain about mythical racism. You can't create stories of fake racism that get exposed, then ask people to feel sorry.
He made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too.
I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too.
A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question.
People won't tolerate the antics forever. There's a limit to how many elbows to the ribs and eye rolls players will endure before someone fights back. Tolerance has its breaking point. Eventually, the league faces a crucial choice. Do they prioritize entertainment and buzz, or do they aim to preserve credibility and respect? Trying to have both might be impossible, because the more the focus shifts to theatrics, the more it undermines the integrity of the game. The league has to decide which side they want to stand on before the over-the-top drama backfires entirely.
Caitlin Clark is far better of a basketball player and has made such a tremendous impact in a greater number, more so than Angel Reese. Everybody knows that. Her college career was better. The stadium sales, the WNBA popularity has gone up because Caitlin Clark is more mature. Caitlin Clark has decorum.
Caitlin Clark obviously is jet fuel to its popularity.
Angel Reese behaves as if she's the leading star of an unrequested soap opera, casting herself simultaneously as the hero, the underdog, and the misunderstood martyr, all at once. Whenever she stirs controversy and it goes viral, that is an unintended backlash. It's precisely the outcome she aims for. The critiques, the fuel, the outrage marketing, every bit of noise boosts her profile. The more chatter she sparks, the more she emerges victorious, not in the game's scoreboard, but in the realm of engagement and visibility. If that's the strategy she embraces, then so be it. But let's get real. Let's cease pretending this is about basketball. No more acting like hair pulls and temper tantrums are some noble expression of passion. It's time to stop praising her unapologetic outbursts and exaggerated flops, because the reality is clear. Angel Reese isn't chasing greatness, she's chasing relevance. And right now, she's winning, yet not in the meaningful way. When the final buzzer sounds and the cameras fade out, one question remains. Will your legacy be defined by your true impact or merely the chaos you left in your wake? Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and activate all notifications so you never miss a moment. Click the video on the screen. You won't want to miss what's next.